you looking for answers about extraterrestrials or maybe the true meaning of life? Then you have come to the right place. Welcome to the Ivan Teller online broadcast. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And for more details, please visit ivanteller.com and learn more about your galactic families.
Greetings all. Thank you all for being here. It's going to be a short channeling. We'll see how it goes. And hopefully Google does not change the Hangout as it is right now. Probably take everything away. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Blessings. Tonight's going to be Abraham Lincoln and JFK. JFK is around. He's not. We'll see if he ever comes through. But Abraham Lincoln is indefinite. I already have an impression of how it's going to be. So. Oh, we just jump right into it. Settled a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So you ground and see who comes through. Thank you. One moment, it takes a second. Yes. I am Abraham. Thank you for having me here. It is joy for me to be here and those around me. Well, I should say around you at this time. There's many lessons to be learned in your world. As for you moving into a higher density anytime soon, realize you must graduate before you do so to the lessons you wish to learn. So a quick ascension is up to you. Yes, my time here was short but meaningful. I learned so much. Lessons that I learned were vital. They were rough, but I wanted it that way. I wanted a difficult lifetime. Because inside I am still a child. I wanted to grow up a little bit. And that I did, but not entirely. There's still many lessons I wish to learn from your world, but I don't think it would be a good idea to reincarnate anytime soon here. I am in spirit, but I'm around your planet, your society all the time, learning still, but not in the same way as if I had a body, a physical form. So this is the learning is so much beneficial when you are here present. It is not the same on the other side. It is educational, but it's different. The reason this one's felt my energies around here because we feel that, as of many, that we can speak to society and hopefully our message will get out to the right individuals, but that is not a worry. My lifetime on your world was, as I said, difficult, but the lessons I learned was immense. And to leave that so soon was troubling and hard to let go. My death, I instantly, well, I wouldn't say instantly, but my death was, I jumped to the, you call it the world of the light, as I would say, was not instantaneous, but it was quick. Some say I was still roaming around after my death. I do not connect to that because you could say I'm still adjusting even after all this time. It does not matter how long I was wandering around, but that I am here to connect with all of you and to learn with you. So important. Is there anything? If you have any questions, please. If not, that's okay.
Hi, this is Neil.
Yes.
Hi, thank you for coming through. And I'm just going to ask some questions just to get more of a feel for the lifetime that you had. So one thing I'm curious about, how thorough was your understandings of spiritual understandings of concepts? How much of an understanding did you have?
Well, I knew there was a God. I realized there were spirits. I realized there was angels, because I realized my death was. There were scenarios before that where I came close to death, which history has not written down. In some scenarios, it's best not if I don't mention them. But there was a lead up to what happened. There was, as what some of you would say, a conspiracy. But as for spiritual, I know I'm wandering off. As for spiritual, I did feel God's presence and angels. And it was nurturing to feel that what I was doing was right. That was very important. In a world where everyone said what I was doing was wrong, as for freeing the slaves. That's all I have.
Okay, so do you feel that obviously you had people helping you at the time? You said you had angels helping you. Did you feel that was like? Could you feel them? Did you feel like that they were making a big difference?
Yes. It's you can say they were embracing me, angels and spirits, mostly angels because I needed all the protection I could get. But of course, not from everything. But the decisions I was making, it was, you could say my time here was the reason I was incarnated here was to release some tension on your planet during my time. So yes, the spiritual embrace was necessary.
Okay, so what were the main lessons that you felt that you had gained from this lifetime in particular?
Obviously, hardships makes you stronger, makes you more awake than those that are given everything, handed so much, where they are set into a mindset that is not always right, such as owning slaves. Those of the wealth have no problem having slaves. But is that morally correct? So this was a lesson that took time for me to understand. You can see, you say the energy or the feelings of this was not correct. It was just felt wrong to be like this, to be so selfish for oneself. It should all love all human beings, no matter the differences, as difficult as it is, which is very difficult.
Okay, so you must have gained quite a lot of strength, like inner strength from that, from
Yes.
trusting in yourself and not what others were saying.
Yes. There's much more, but that is, especially when you have to go against others that disagree with what you say, what you believe in, and fighting for what you believe in is not always easy, because many do let go and just set it aside, their belief systems, and just, but it didn't feel right. It's like it felt like I was in a battle in the White House with Congress, Senate, senators, etc. That was a civil war all on its own. And that was a battle that is known, but not exactly in history. Does history really write it down correctly to show the war zone that was happening in there? The harsh cruelty, the words that were said against others of other colors to suppress them just because they felt they had a moral obligation to continue that mindset.
Yes. Okay. Now, during that lifetime, you were an incredible leader. So one thing I'm interested in is could you give us some insight into how to be a great leader?
Patience, gratitude towards others. Gratitude towards others is huge to show your appreciation for those that are around you. Always show that. That is, I want to say, that is one of the most important things, is appreciation to those around you, and to not let it all go to your head that you're some fancy leader, which you are not. You are a organizer, you can say. Just a words here are not being pulled correctly. But I don't know. As a leader, I feel as not as a leader, but as a one that wants to do right. And there's others that want to do right also. So we are all together. So as a leader, I don't want to be seen as that, as just someone that is part of a community of those that want to make the world a better place. And you could say that my position seemed it was as if it was of leadership, but which I guess it is, but I see it differently. But for those of you that, if you put your hearts in the right place, you cannot go wrong with that. Let's put it that way.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Shiny has a question for you. So go ahead, Shiny.
Hello, Abe. I just want to say I love you. It's my understanding I was around you during one of my incarnational lifetimes. So just want to say I love you. And my question is, during your darkest hours, like when you're facing the war, the civil war, how did you find the strength to continue and, encourage the people?
And the good in humanity. I couldn't let that go. And in the position I was in, I could not let anyone down. So I have.
Yeah, I think there was a small problem there with the audio. So could you just repeat what the answer that you gave there, please?
Oh yes. There's much here, much interference of my being here. Apparently, is causing much of this. But as I was saying, just one moment. I think I have my thoughts. Humanity, my love for humanity. It's my love for humanity, to see the good in humanity. I can feel the soul of humanity, the goodness of it. That's what kept me going.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay. Yeah, we're getting slight interference, but it's okay. We can continue. Okay, so one thing I'm curious about is what kind of themes do you go through in a lot of your lifetimes?
That's an interesting question. One moment, yes. Well, understand the themes in my lifetimes were mostly easy going lifetimes. The lifetime I picked as Abraham Lincoln was very difficult. It was time to get my act together and grow up. Stop being a child and put some pressure onto myself. So as for a running theme was mostly being lazy usually. That was a lifetime. Here on this world, just give me a chance to take all of that wasted energy and to put it all into one lifetime. To utilize it in a positive way. Because most of my lifetimes are pretty easy and ridiculously just did not have a purpose. You could say I was still trying to find myself, you could say. And obviously, this world helped me utilize my talents.
Do you take on a lot of other leadership roles in different lifetimes?
Yes and no. On this world, no. This world is a definite no. On other worlds, realize my lifetime on other worlds is very limited. So, as for leadership, I am more of an observer, you can say. Observing others on how others operate, such as leaders, such as Julius Caesar, just soaking in information like your Arcturians do. Very similar to that. Just absorbing.
That's funny you said that, because I got an Arcturian feel from you. So I feel like you've had past lives as Arcturian, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
Christy has a question she would like to ask. Go ahead, Christy.
Yes. I was wondering about people who have traumatic death experiences. When they come over to reincarnate again, I'm asking, like, will you carry over like a birthmark of that traumatic event that occurred, or will you decide to release it before you come into another lifetime?
It all depends. Most likely, usually do carry it over because we don't know any better to let things go. And sometimes we need to bring it over just to release it. We must go back into the same environment we left in, where these incidents happen, and be mature enough to let them go. Because they go through the repercussions of it and realize I'm carrying around a lifetime I do not need anymore. It is part of Earth's lesson. Of course, not all. It is. As for many that are letting, most do not. They wish to come in. It's part of one of Earth's lessons. It's part of this whole pattern on this planet, is to bring your past lives into your new incarnation. It's like, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to live it forever? Are you going to live that old lifetime over again? Or are you going to clear it out and let something new in?
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare where some clear it out so they can come in easily. It depends. It all varies between soul to soul.
Right. Because some have like that happen, and then maybe you've had severe headaches or something like that, or however.
Right. So you can say it's Earth's birthmark.
Yes.
Say it like that.
Thank you.
Okay, if anybody else has any questions, you can go ahead now. But there's nobody got any questions, so if there's no more questions, we can round it off. Yeah, I don't think there's any more questions. So yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for coming through. It's very informative, and yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Greetings all. I am who you... What Earth calls me still, for obvious reasons. I am JFK. Before any of you have any words to say, my words to you is simple. Just do the right thing. Instead of skating around what is right, it is best just to let yourself go. Let go of your fear and do what's right for this world. obviously, for just the little things matter so much. Not just, I mean, obviously, in my position, I was on a, I had a theater to play. I was an actor in a theater play, you can say. It's funny how Lincoln was just here. But realize the small things. If you're a housewife, or anybody for that matter, the little things matter so much because it clears your soul. And those, not always of wealth, but those troubled souls that believe they're doing the right thing and have negative repercussions. What is that? Because realize that usually comes back and gets you eventually. But those that do not learn that, and they reincarnate and do it all over again, they realize, why do these things keep happening to me? Why I'm negative to someone else, or trying to please myself and not caring what happens to others. Who am I to do? And they wonder why karma keeps kicking them in the butt. It is quite fascinating. I realize my lifetime here, I'll give you a little bit of information. I am a Palladian. I didn't know my death was on its way. I was well aware of it, but I was fine with that. There was nothing I could do to escape it, and why should I? I mean, if they're going to take me out, go right ahead. There was a time in the beginning of my political life where I was self-serving like any other political figure. But then I changed. This is even before I became elected. I saw the American people, and they spoke to me, and I spoke to them spiritually. And I felt like I had a bond with them. A love affair, you can say. Obviously, I was not perfect in that area. But I felt the American people. I felt everyone as the same. Color doesn't matter. Everyone was the same. I felt that they were being deceived. And this deceivance that was going on, I'm not sure if that's a word, but that's okay. It was not, I cannot live with myself and continue this. So once I was elected, I already had plans of changing things. You could say I was making my move. I didn't care the consequences. Obviously, I did not control my death. There's no, I knew it was coming, but as for when, I did not know. So what is on your mind, please?
Hello, JFK. My name's Sean. I'd just like to welcome you here, and I'd like to say, first of all, that you have not only touched many lives of the humans with what you've done and the things that you said, but you've also touched many lives of the younger generation too that's currently incarnated onto this planet. So I'd like to thank you for what you've actually done on this planet. I found it very interesting that you said that you did not know that you're gonna die, because there's a story that came out saying that you're talking to your wife just before you went into Dallas, Texas, and you said to her when you were in bed that if some crackpot was to, go out with a gun and shoot you in the head, you couldn't do anything about that. And you literally said that like hours before you died. So I thought that must have been like your higher self or something saying to get prepared.
Yes.
My question is, how far away were you? Well, first of all, actually, did you know about the aliens?
Yes and no. It was mostly kept away. I knew of it. As for connection to it, it's an area that even to this day I do choose not to speak about. But yes, I did know, but as for going into details, it's probably not a good idea. for many reasons.
Okay, so that probably renders my next like 5 questions null and void, since there's about the ETs. But I do also have other questions like where did you find your power when you're on Earth? Like how you're such a very charismatic person, yeah, you're very humble at the same time. How did you find the energy and strength to do what you've done?
What you can say is this: I can say easily. Realize I'm still connected to my lifetime here, so some things I do not disclose. But as for my strength here, I had many lifetimes on other worlds that gave me the strength to, on Palladian planets, on Era and others. You can say there was a build-up to this existence on this planet. I realize that the politics there is different. I realize the politics there is not perfect, but is of love. And you could say my mission here was to bring that here. I wasn't conscious of it at the time, but I was tapping into the good of humanity. And what government, obviously, what it's good for, not to hinder over society, but to be its society's tool, in a positive way, of course. I'm not sure if tool is the correct way to say it, but you can say all of those lifetimes, there was, inside of me lived a happiness to prevail, to keep, to carry on, to be charming, but to be genuine about it, to be real. That's all I have for that.
Um,
Because obviously being real is not easy on your world now, is it? There's always hidden agendas, it seems. And not just in politics.
I'm curious. Did you know about the how much control that the government had?
Yes. You could say once I was elected, I realized I have entered into the lion's den, you can say. How massive this was, how secretive it was being to the American people was horrifying. It's like, even before that, I did not realize the scope of it until I was elected.
What made you decide to want to travel to the moon?
Oh, that I can talk about. Well, obviously it was pressures from those in the government. This I can say. There was a activity of aliens. You could say I'm saying this a bit differently, but there was an alien activity going on. And it was, I saw the good in with our extraterrestrial friends. And to connect to the moon, we could say it was connecting to ourselves. Obviously, there's a lot of things happen there that has not been public. But the moon was vital to our existence. But obviously, there are stories that we were already there, which is mostly true. But to give the public a reassurance that we're all, not just that we're on top of things, but that we are connected to them. With technologies, we now have the ability to connect to everything. And that was pretty much its purpose, not knowing that at the time of how deep that really is. Not just because we can do it, it's because we should be doing it. So there's many avenues there that led up to that. But that wasn't just my idea. That was pressure from the Russians. But obviously there's a lot more to it than that.
Someone asked, this isn't me asking, it's someone else asking, any advice for those who want to be more real with the rest of humanity?
To not live in fear, to be yourself, just like others have said here. Be yourself and not, obviously, suffer the consequences. That is not. Be yourself and not what others think. Don't care about that. Don't worry about that. Just take care of yourself. Are you happy? Go to where you are happy within yourself. That's what matters the most. Then you don't have to rely on drugs or booze to fulfill yourself. You can fulfill yourself with, you could say, spirituality, but that was kind of advanced. But to just enjoy yourself and don't worry what others think. That's all. Easier said than done.
Have you got any advice for the younger generation out there that will be changing the political establishment over the next coming years?
Political advice. Political advice would be is to run your government out of town, of course. It seems like no matter who they put in there, it doesn't seem like anything changes, and it does not. It is up to you to move things forward. As for how to do that, that is up to you. But remember, when you're connecting to a positive intention, that is what you want to embrace. And like you say, send love to those that, send love to Washington, send love to those politicians. To give them advice to be honest with everyone and themselves. And when being honest, this will break the barriers that is now what you call what's holding your country down, let's say. At least keeping it from knowing its true self, let's say that.
And one last final question. Have you got any plans for any reincarnations on this planet anytime soon?
It is a possibility. It is a possibility. Mostly, the chance of that is during your world awakening. When your world knows more of itself. I think that would be a good time for me to reappear as a Palladian, of course. But instead of having me reappear here, why don't those of your, I would say American society, but world society, connect to my energies. I'll be happy to help, let's put it that way. into what direction. That would be wise. If you want to have me come back, you can connect to me and you could say you're carrying on the message. Obviously, it would be from yourself, mostly. If it makes sense.
Well, I invite if anyone has any questions to ask them now.
Yeah, hello there.
Yes.
This is Brian.
Hello.
Yeah, greetings, my friend. How are you?
I am fine, thank you.
Yes, my question is, at the time or before your presidency, were you aware of a secretive group known as the Men in Black?
Yes, I've heard of them. As for, you could say many members of the Secret Service, I believe that was some of them. So yes.
And the other story, I think it was Dwight Eisenhower, before your presidency, I think it was in the 50s. Did you ever hear the story of him meeting or having secret meetings with extraterrestrials?
Yes. You could say I was told not to go into
you don't have to
details.
go into it. I understand. The only other thing was, did you hear if they were positive or a little bit more negative? Those groups that he met with, or at least one of the
I
groups.
believe it was a little bit of both. It was a cross between both. Those that were malevolent were offering many things. And those that were malevolent were those with a friendly nature were cautious of this agreement. And obviously, when you're bringing all of these jewels
Yes.
and information, why would anyone say no to that? So that was an easy sell. So there were positive visitors
Yes.
that were, obviously they're not going to intervene, but they were speaking of their concerns. But it is just, your government was drunk already, and they were already gone.
Did you hear of those bases or the underground bunkers or bases that what you would call like Area 51?
Yeah.
Was all of that starting before your presidency?
They didn't really go into those. There's like, I can go into this. There was a Black Project. I knew of that. There's Black Projects.
Yes.
And I was not even given authorization to see what was going on. I was aware of them and not to ask about it, not to be involved, because I was there as, you could say, as their political showman.
Yes.
But it was like, so your lead actor is not your director. Your director is the one that runs the show. I was not the director, I was the actor.
Yes.
So when you're in that position, you're given you're not given everything that you'd like to see. But yes, go ahead.
And yes, one last question, my friend. What would you recommend? There's a great possibility that there might be a woman president. And I think that would be wonderful, a change for the country. And if that occurs, if not now, then down the road, I feel there will be a woman president eventually. And when that happens, what advice would you give to her to run the country or to help shift this planet?
Several things. First off, watch your back. Be careful what you say, because they can dethrone you in an instant. But yes, I believe there is a time for this. Your country is not ready for this right now. As for future guests, advice: be loving. Obviously, that should not be. Be loving. Be kind. Listen. Connect. The more you connect to the people, the more good you can do. Which isn't what your government has said, which is not happening at this time. So just connect to the American, or the people, for that matter, and listen and be with them instead of against them. Of course, if you do that now, you will not be president anymore. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm just hoping soon there'll be more of a leadership, more of that visionary leader who really wants to take the world, at least the United States, into a positive direction.
Yes.
They can bring some great visionary leaders behind them, and like an entourage, and surround themselves in a political arena that's more for the people, a win-win for everyone.
Yes, I agree. Getting there is, your country has to go through many lessons to get to that point. It has not learned much because it's doing the same thing over and over again right now. It is not paying attention, it's not listening.
Are they those that are helping behind the scenes to make this a possibility, a probability? What you would call Palladium energies, others. They're really stepping in now to help with this.
They are stepping in, but how are the people, at least of America, how are they? What are they doing?
Yeah.
Even those that are paying attention, are they really paying attention? Not.
Right.
And they ridicule those that smoke, do drugs, but realize they're more connected because they know it's all a bunch of bullshit. Why bother? But those that are paying attention are easily convinced and swindled into the agendas. It is quite complicated in some regard.
Well, yes.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is Sean again. Hello, much love.
Much love.
Did you ever, do any drugs while you were alive?
Just about everything. And slept with everything also. I'm surprised I didn't die in the president's die of disease before I even hit office. Marijuana was a favorite, but cocaine was one, marijuana was one, ecstasy. All of those were as you asked before, what got me through all this, that was part of it. At least at one time. At least the younger years, I should say. But those moments of remembering, those memories, whatever little I could remember, was quite humorous, let's say that.
Where do you see the political system going in the next 10 years?
Not where it should be going. Unfortunately, it seems that it's in the same spiral of going nowhere. The same old, as you are used to. Of course, it can change. At this time, it is not changing, but that is always a possibility. There's always different scenarios, different timelines where things are working in your favor worldwide. But in the next 10 years, it seems like it's the same old at this moment, unfortunately. But many are waking up spiritually, but it is not enough in some areas. That can always change. It is such a difficult world, isn't it?
Yes.
So many lessons, so many good lessons, but not easy lessons to learn. It's like many had to be knocked in the head a few hundred times for them to finally figure it out. That's the beauty of this place.
Well, I much rather get hit in the head 100 times and wake up than get hit in the head 99 times and not wake up.
Exactly. You always give it a chance, yes. That's the beauty of it. Correct. You always have that doorway. Do you want to go through it? Most will say no. But it is always there for you to at least peek through it, see where it heads, where it will take you. So that is the fascinating. That's what makes this world so fascinating.
So, where were you on your spiritual awakened journey just before you left this earth? Were you awakened a lot, or were you just going through your awakening stages?
Realized this before my death. I realized I felt more of a God presence. There's more to life than just this. I did not see that until, of course, I can say whatever I want before that. I was starting to see it before my death. I could see, you could say, doorways opening to the other side. Something like that. Like 2-second visions, where it's like maybe I'm just seeing things. But I knew if one's death knocked on my door, I knew where I was going. I felt fine with it. I was not scared at all. That is as far as my spirituality was. As for talking to aliens and all that, that was beyond my pay scale.
Is there anyone else that has any other questions?
Yeah, Christy, go ahead.
Yes. I was wondering what type of music you enjoyed listening to most.
Rock music, dance music.
Did you enjoy Irish music since you had the Irish DNA in you?
Yes and no. Yes and no. It depends. Depends on the beat of it. I would just leave that yes and no.
So, as a Pleiadian now, do you have any interactions with Earth, exopolitics-wise?
Yes. My mission here is to heal this world, just like others. Bring my insight. As for connecting to your political figures on a personal level, there are times I visit certain senators and ask them, are you truly doing this? course, they don't not realize I'm doing this, but I mean, you're really going to sell your country out like that? This is something I do time and time again. But my main mission here is to just calm down the corruption, reason with those in power in your government or governments across your planet, not just the United States. What moral obligation do you have to society? And usually, they don't feel like they have an obligation at all. Just filling their pockets. Not all, but many. Fortunately.
I have a question on behalf of Bianca. Bianca wants to know if any people that are in the room just now have a personal connection with you.
Without going into details, yes, with all of you, I have a connection. As for, you could say, on the galactic playing field. As for Earth lifetimes, I do not see that. We've all crossed paths, you could say, over time. What would you do with that?
Okay, does anybody else have any more questions at this time?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
Hello, this is Joe. So if I understand you correctly, you're currently incarnated as a Pleiadian?
In spirit, yes.
Oh, so you're not physically incarnated.
I have many incarnations at this moment. So the answer is yes to both.
Oh.
So yes.
Would it be possible for you to come and meet any of us?
You can always call on my energies, always. Any of you. I am a, like you say, multi-dimensional being. I am, as any other, I am in all places at all times. If you call on me. Especially with your political climate. Realize there's things I cannot say at this time. But eventually I will. I have to watch my words this day.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions before we round this off?
Yes, I have one last question. My friend, when you were in office for those 3 years or so, did you ever hear about any stories about a group like NASA or anyone going to the moon and also to Mars before even the official landing on the moon?
Yes. As I said, there were scenarios I was hearing but not knowing the complete details. But I was aware of a presence there.
Okay.
And on other planets also.
Oh, wow.
So yes, they're giving out, I believe this is okay. There are, such as our moon presence, I was already aware that we were already, somebody was there.
Yes.
And we had to give it to the public because there was a public war going on with Russia, but there was also a silent war going on.
Right.
As always. So yes, Mars, Mars is mostly by rumor. Did not have a lot of access to that. But the moon is another story. But even that was aware of much going on there, but details were scattered. But you could say I was aware that not to ask too many questions.
I understand.
Such as being told that we are already there, and say, how did we do that? And then told to not ask anymore about it.
My friend, thank you so much. Much love.
I have one last question before you go.
Yes.
During your lifetime, did you see any advanced technology?
Here and there, I was not, like you said, at your Area 51, but I was aware of the existence of them, very much so. Seeing them, it was mostly kept away from my sight, but I was aware of their presence. Let's put it that way. So it was,
I'd like to take this last opportunity just to say I love you so much and thank you for coming. You've made a deep impact on my life, and I appreciate your incarnation for that.
thank you. Thank you all, and you all impact me also. I feel it's a one-way street here. We are all here for each other. Never forget that. I will leave you all be. Blessings to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Much love.
Much love.
Namaste.
Okay.
Welcome back, Ivan.
Thank you. My eyes are all bloodshot. That's nice. Yeah, I felt he was. A lot of stuff he wanted to say, but somebody was hitting the brakes. I felt Eisenhower here too.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Give that one a shot another day. I feel like he could say a little bit more. I was surprised all that holdback. I really didn't know what to expect.
how did your energy levels feel during that? Did you feel like the time was alright?
Yeah.
Right, okay, that's good.
Yeah, I felt certainly interesting. It was just there was so much he was not going to go into. I was actually surprised by that.
Did you get any images during it?
Just Eisenhower.
Really?
As for mostly Eisenhower. I got more feelings of like you can't go there, don't talk about this type of situations. Don't, we can show you this, some of this, and hear us talking, but don't go there.
Yeah, Ivan, it was beautiful. I could feel just that's why I kind of kept it more general information. Ask
Yeah.
general questions. And I knew, not to go too deep, so just to get it was beautiful.
Yeah,
Thanks
imagine.
so much, Ivan.
Yeah, if this wasn't being recorded, you probably could go into more.
Thank you.
That's the best feeling. I don't know, Neil or anybody else want to go?
I don't think I'll channel today. Maybe next time I'll do that.
Anybody else? Open bar. You're seeing it as karaoke.
2. Okay.
Yeah, just. Let's see if message JC. I give him a second. There's a video. Well, we can just. I can't channel anymore tonight. On Friday I'll go further. Tonight's today is kind of a long day.
Yeah, you don't wear yourself out, man. Just
yeah. Anybody want to do any blessings before we depart?
I'll start off. Yoro tono yawa satanaye. Dede oyo toro. Lowo wo uturu uwuku uyasha tana. Halawa na sataye oko. Oroto iowa sata. Deleo oto. Orokoto yawa sata. Shetene yaka au.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I can go if you want.
Sure.
Shilioto kono tuaiata. Iasahi kia ni kilioto toa. Ni akakai silioto to shuata. Ni kia kakao silioto noata dia. Kia ushu lu norati kia tata. Ilias kosh kudwana ni kia ta ia. Solo tono noata.
A little bit of translation. You were saying something about, I can't remember at the start, something about love and everybody's love, and you're saying, you said something like, don't try and, it's like don't go out seeking love. It's like this. You say don't go out seeking love. That's like chasing your tail. You said it's more like love is all around you all the time. So just be open to it and allow it to flow in. So that's what the interpretation I got.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll speak some.
Sure.
Mahalwa ya hakita cha tusutuni. Atisa etzakatita cha. Ikachata niana wa soruto kuchotuki. Takachiata wa nyonono sokuto shotieta sapwati kiti. Tukuchotiana. Osiata paikianana. Malawe sia kahakotu shotukutuni. Takiata pa. Ichinyo no soto. Osia hakitanana.
What you said at the start was that you're saying the people in this room have got great minds and great hearts, and it's time now to open up and to allow this, what is inside of them, to flow out, this greatness which is inside of them to flow out, and then I started losing it after that.
Awesome, Neil. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. Anybody else? Twice. Okay. All right, that's it. Yeah, Friday we'll have another one and a bit more. Maybe 3 entities. We'll see how it goes. Blessings all. And
Thank you, Ivan.
you guys for being here. Yeah.